the thing I try to do is just have things going around it in my mind. Something will happen maybe 2 weeks from now that I'll write a note down, and 2 years from now I'll pick that up, or I'll get something will happen, like I mentioned, to ending the Maravelli family. Maybe I'll see some YouTube video on a gangster, or maybe something will happen at work, and I'll say, oh, that's the in for me to get to the Joey Greco character. Now I can write the book. When I did a Norwegian in the Family, you remember, it opens up with the flowery speech of the Norwegian about hyacinths in May and whatnot. And I said, and I knew once I got that, I said, I've got the whole book. So almost 2.5 million words came just from my stumbling. Somehow it ruminated mine. I said, hyacinths in May, always, whatever the fuck he says, And I said, that's the key to the Norwegian character, and that's the key that'll open up the book. And it's like the old saying about going through a house. To go through a house, at some point, every work you start and every choice you make starts opening up ideas. And then at some point, you get to a point where you're reaching the turning point, the point where now you got to go down. And so every choice you make now starts closing doors. And so the way you open up and the way you maneuver through a home, or you maneuver through the levels, is going to affect what you do later on. And sometimes you can go back and always say, oh, this door opened up this idea. Let me just throw in a little bon mot back 27 chapters earlier. So something that happens, an idea that comes to you midway through the book, that you put in the book 3/4 of the way in, makes you go back and rewrite an earlier part of the book, so that you've planted a seed that some smart reader is going to get later on, that wasn't there when you wrote the first draft, or the second, or the 10th draft of that. And so that you always have to be open to. Too many people, I think I once said this to Alex Sheremit, or maybe it was Peter Cleese, that a woman that I once knew and had an aborted encounter with, very much like some of the Levels women. I saw a video she did online, and she's got this typical thing where on her wall, her bedroom wall, she's got this whole timeline, and she's got these posters, and she's got everything plotted out and whatnot. And the idea of the book was just not good. It was generic and silly and whatnot. But even if
there's that thing, is like pre-calculating something before you've actually done it.
Right.
When the work should come from the work.
And the work should be a constant generative dynamo that's going. Yeah. And you have to, as an artist, if 9 months into a 1,000,000-word book that you're writing, that's is going to take 3 years, you get something that means you have to go back and rewrite the first 20%. Do it. Yeah. Just like within a poem. If you want to write a poem about the Nazi invasion of Poland, but it turns out to be a poem about a poodle that you loved as a child, go with the fucking poodle. You can always write about the Nazis later.
Yeah. Like the actual production, being able to like just work and have that text like